Let's quickly talk about Airtable versus Asana business plan software. So if you're interested in this topic, here's an overview I want you to pay attention to. So when you think about Airtable and Asana, both have a ton to offer and can break down tasks, though in different ways though. For data-focused teams, Airtable can accommodate all kinds of details, giving you more ways to break down your project than in the built-in Airtable dashboard. So if you are basically trying to if you're working on a business plan right now and you are focused on data, then you want to think about one software versus another. In other words, Airtable can really kind of help you out. Asana can cut down tasks into more granular bits, so you can follow tasks bits like more efficiently. Let's say you have multiple teams and you're trying to really look at things more like from a granular perspective. You will love Asana, especially if you have a very complicated business plans to work on with multiple teams involved and you have to present to the board, to investors, to stakeholders, to regulators. You will love Asana, okay? And so the thing here is that you can also assign one task to multiple boards within Asana with a few clicks of a button, making collaboration across management teams a dream. This is really cool. So which one is really better here? When we talk about Airtable versus Asana business plan software, which one is really better? Let's quickly go through the overview. Of course, I'm going to detail everything for you. But one thing I want to say here is that when you talk about free trial, both tools offer free trial. For Asana, you have 14 days. And for Airtable, you have 30 days. In terms of the starting price, you have $10 per seat per user per month. And for Asana, this is like $11. So in terms of pricing, you're talking about this is pretty similar. And both actually have a free plan, not a problem. In terms of integrations, basically Asana really wins here because it has more than 1,000 possible integrations. This is really cool. And you have also for Airtable, you have 100 integrations, more than that. And for the view options, you have great Kanban, Gantt, calendar, list, form, gallery, and timeline views. That's for Asana. For Airtable, you have list, Kanban, calendar, timeline, portfolio, and goal views. So this is pretty similar. And the setup, both are pretty easy to set up. Boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. Make yourself comfortable. You are going to enjoy today's conversation. Let me give you a winner here. So when we talk about Airtable, I want you to think about a tool that's better for tasks with lots of details. So with lots of details, if you are working on a business plan right now and you have a convoluted process and you have lots of details needed within that business plan work stream, you will love Airtable. Let's dig a little deeper here. Airtable is a spreadsheet-based project management tool with a wide variety of options for managing your tasks and workflow. You can use it for business planning, not a problem. And even on just the free plan, you can just set up great Kanban, list, gallery, and calendar views, along with forms. Along with the paid plans, you can actually, with the paid plan, you can access the timeline and Gantt views and Airtable's session feature, which helps you group up views to make it easier to view what you need in a long list of views, actually. So Airtable, when you think about Airtable, think about a tool that has a robust filtering and grouping system, so you can more easily divide your tasks in more manageable bits. Okay, so if you are working right now on a business plan and you have multiple teams, multiple team members involved, and you want to really subdivide tasks into more manageable bits, you will love Airtable for that. The grouping feature is particularly useful. You can group tasks by any field you like, and you can even create subgroups that are easily adjustable with a few clicks. For example, one day you could group tasks first by status, then by task owner. The next, you could group it by owner first, then by priority. But because Airtable is spreadsheet focused, it can also sort and process data beautifully. It has fields for metrics like you have time durations, percentages, dates, prices, and quite a bit more, which are really great. If you are working on a business plan, no matter how complicated it is, you will love this sort of granularity. So what are the pros and cons when we talk about Airtable here? Let's talk about that. First of all, the pros. You have a tool that's capable, that has a free plan that's capable. You have strong filtering and grouping features for complicated projects or workflows, lots of field options, effective data dashboards. What about the cons? Expect a bit of a learning curve within Airtable. The grid can somewhat be visually overwhelming, and you have difficult cross-board collaboration. Boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about Asana versus Airtable business plan software. Let's talk about Asana. Asana is great for breaking down tasks. Okay, so if you are working on a business plan right now, no matter how complicated it is, you can use Asana to break down very complicated tasks into manageable bits. Okay, so Asana is a fantastic tool for breaking down larger tasks into smaller subtasks and even subtasks, so teams can more easily tackle the work. This is especially helpful if your subtasks can be tackled simultaneously, making it easier to keep track of scattered work and maintain tidier the timelines. Okay. One thing I want to say here is that when we talk about Asana, remember that Asana also has a project assignment field where you can tag project boards to pull the name, like you can pull the same task into multiple boards. So if you have a task that multiple departments or teams touch, for example, if you're working on a business plan, and you have multiple departments or multiple teams actually are involved, it's super simple to pull the task into the right boards to keep items from getting lost. Okay. And Asana also has a pretty simple setup with sections that stand at statuses, and team members simply drag tasks from one section to the next to move it along the pipeline. And the filters are somewhat limited to keep task management from getting too out of hand or overcomplicated, but it's easy to onboard new team members and get right to the work. This is really good. Okay. And what are the pros and cons here? Let's quickly talk about the pros and cons here. So when you think about Asana and from a business plan software perspective, the pros include a helpful task and subtask setup, easy cross-team collaboration, which is really cool. You have automatic variant views for each project, so you can go from calendar to a grid to Kanban, etc. And you have a 30-day free trial. So the flexibility is there in terms of operational efficiency, but also pricing efficiency. What about the cons here? Well, there are some field limitations, and you have minimal task filtering, and you have pricier plans also. So those are things you need to think about. Speaking of pricing, let's talk about pricing here. Let's actually compare and contrast the Airtable versus Asana in terms of the plans and pricing. I want you to look right now on the screen for me. Here is a pricing for Asana as of the date of this show. So you can see that you have a trifecta, basic, premium, and business. And really, the thing is that if you want to get the gist of Asana, it's better to go on the business side. And so the business plan that will cost you about $25 a month when billed annually. When billed monthly, you will have to pay $30 a month. So this is pretty like 25%. This is really cool. And one thing I want to say here is that, and then I want to show you before I move on, I want to show you Airtable. So Airtable also has, actually doesn't have a trifecta. It has a quartet of tiers. So you have the free, the team, the business, and the enterprise scale. So for the enterprise scale, you have to contact sales to have you have to get a custom quote, right? So when it comes to price, Airtable and Asana are fairly similar, as you probably saw, to a point, of course. Asana's plans are a touch more expensive, more so as you move up in tiers, but with a per user price that can add up if you have a larger team. So comparing plan features, Airtable has more numerical limitations than Asana across their plans, but on the other hand, Airtable has more features and customization capabilities starting with their free plan. So in a word, in our view here, Airtable's price tiers offer more space to grow, while Asana's plans come with an increasing number of features. It's one of those things where you got to ask yourself, okay, I have a project management that revolves around business planning. Like I'm writing a business plan right now, or I'm setting up my business plan. What kind of features do I need? What kind of limitations do I have to care about? Do I have to worry about? And what is the size of my team? Those important elements will play a crucial role. So when we talk about Airtable, for example, Airtable already starts off strong with its free plan. You have quite a few options and capabilities, including Airtable dashboards that provide an easy view at project details and KPIs. But with any free plan, there are limitations. The main one being the user limit. You can only have 5 creators or editors with unlimited commenters and viewers. So if you have a small team, you can get a lot out of Airtable's free plan. From there, you are essentially paying for more space. So starting with the Plus plan, you can have unlimited users with the per user cost, and each tier adds more storage, records, revisions histories, automations, integrations, and more. What about Asana here? So when you think about Asana really gives you a lot of space to work with from the very start. This is really cool. So the thing is, their free plan accommodates up to 15 users with unlimited projects. So we're talking about tasks, storage, and activity logs. However, compared to Airtable, the capabilities here are pretty limited, okay? So you don't have access to custom fields, which can make it difficult to manage complicated projects or workflows that relates to business planning. You can assign owners, deadlines, simple tags, project tags, and priorities to tasks, and you can add subtasks to help break up the work, but there is not much beyond that. Boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about Asana versus Airtable business plan software. Let's talk about the features here. Okay, so I want to really do a quick feature comparison so we have a clear idea what's really happening here. So Asana and Airtable, they both have excellent task management features, but they lean into different strengths. Okay, let's really talk about that. So use Airtable if you need strong filtering or grouping options to organize long lists of tasks that relate to business planning, or if you need to manage tasks with lots of details. So if you need granularity, think about Airtable. Use Asana if you need to break up your tasks into tinier chunks or need to have the same task pull into multiple team boards. Okay, this is something that you need to really think about. So if your tasks usually come with a ton of details, Airtable is perfectly capable of handling all that information with all kinds of fields, colors, filtering, and grouping. Tons of tasks and information can live in one place, and your team can create personal views with their own filtering settings and to trim back information overwhelm. In fact, while testing the free version, we found ourselves creating fields solely for filtering purposes so we could create valuable views and avoid creating new boards, okay? And in terms of, and while Airtable doesn't have the best setup for tasks, you can create a way around this using statuses so tasks touch all the right points in a linear path. With Asana, you can include quite a few details, though not quite as easily as Airtable. Team members can manage their own tasks in a personal My Tasks view, and you can add tasks to tags to tasks to put them into various project boards for cross-team collaboration. You can also easily split tasks into subtasks with due dates and subtask owners, which are also pulled into individual team members' My Tasks view for easy management. You just have to be wary of overcomplicating tasks, or it can be very difficult wading through the top tasks and can create daunting task lists for your team members. So that's for task management. Okay, so our pick is actually, this is a tie. And for customization, our pick is really Airtable. Why? Because Airtable offers a ton of options to help you better customize the individual or team views for one project board, and you can do a lot more when it comes to field customization, starting from the free plan, including field, color, and view customization. Your reporting view and your task view can pull from the same pool of information, and it's quite easy to build Airtable around your workflow instead of fit your workflow into a set framework. Asana has a pretty rigid system for views and boards with some filtering options. You can change colors for certain field operations and create some custom fields, but because Asana sets its plan tiers by available features, you'll have to pay by what features you would need. So this can get very expensive, by the way. Let's talk about project views. So when you think, if you were to compare and contrast Asana and Airtable by project views, what do we have here? Our pick here again is Airtable. Why? Airtable offers quite a few project view options. You can set up your main grid view how you like with the fields and info you need. Then you can create Kanban, calendar, list, gallery, timeline, or Gantt views that pull from the main view. And you don't have to stop there. Team members can create their own personal views with saved filters. Plus, you can save views for specific needs or purposes, such as reporting views, functional views, planning views, and anything else. This way, you can keep all the project and task information in one board that make it a lot more manageable for the whole team. So this is kind of cool. And the thing is, Asana also offers numerous view types, such as list, calendar, timeline, and Kanban. But there's more limitations to individual view creation. You can create project boards for each department. Don't get me wrong. You can do it for teams. You can do it for persons. But you can even use the project field to pull the same task into multiple boards. But it can complicate the task by task process for you if you don't have automation. So those are things you need to really think about. And for data management, our pick here again is Airtable. Why? Because Airtable makes it very simple to store tons of details and data connected to your various tasks. You can then create data dashboards that pull from the main project board to visually present your task data by whatever settings you decide, such as task owners, status, priorities, and so on. And for a more in-depth look at the details, you can filter and group your tasks to find what you need more quickly to get more into the nitty-gritty. Asana is much simpler in comparison, especially if you have the free or lower tier plan. You may be limited by the field customization options, and filtering is not quite as robust, which could make it more difficult to sift through the details for what you need. Okay. However, in our view, Asana does have a data dashboard option, but it's not available with the free option. So it's one of those things you have to pay a little bit more if you want to have the features that you need in Asana. Let's talk about what is our decision here. What is our verdict? So if you analyze Asana versus Airtable for business plan software, which one should you go for? Now, the thing here is that it really depends on what you really are after. What is your goal here? What is driving you? The thing here is that the right project management software for your business plan activities will depend on the needs that your organization has. You want to try Airtable if you have a lot of task information and you need a way to sort through all of it quickly and efficiently. Let's say you have a business plan and it's so convoluted. You have multiple teams that get involved and you have multiple tasks that are basically like intertwined, and you want to find a way to break down those tasks. You want to use Airtable, for example. And because this can also be really helpful if you have varying specialists on one team that each need their own levels, their own fields and views. Okay, let's say you have financial specialists, you have strategy specialists, you have operational specialists, you have all kinds of experts, and you want to give them some kind of autonomy. Then Airtable will be the perfect tool for you. And try Asana. If you have departments that occasionally collaborate on one task, let's say they're working on a business plan and they come sporadically on one task and they're not there permanently, then that level of frequency can really be great for Asana. With Asana, you can assign the same tasks to multiple project boards and break up the task into subtasks and subtasks to make cross-team and cross-departmental collaboration easier. Okay, so it's really important to understand that at the end of the day, you have to really do a little tally of the number of users we're thinking about. Because if you are going just to, let's say, if you're going to add members just in a one shot without doing the calculation, you might find yourself paying a lot more than if you were basically first doing the research to see what the numbers we're talking about and how much this will cost you before you try everything, before you try anything. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I was just talking to you about Asana versus Airtable. So we're talking about the business plan software, the business plan of things and side of things. And so I give you the overview here. I'm just doing a quick recap here. I'm giving you the overview, the winner, the pricing, and the features. So when it comes to features, we analyze task management, customization, project views, and data management. And then I finished with the decision. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll speak to you another time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.